What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be me doing my pretty much everyday go-to makeup routine that I've been doing recently. So I haven't been wearing much makeup, especially with the fact that we are all pretty much should be staying home majority of the time at this moment because of the virus, because of trying to stop the spread of it. I'm doing my part to stay home as much as possible. So I haven't really been wearing makeup. There are times where I'm like, oh, I just need to remember how I look without, like, I need to remember how I look with makeup on. This isn't gonna be like a little glam moment. It's just gonna be me getting ready. And my hair is already done. Okay, so I am going to just jump into this video and show you guys my everyday makeup routine. So let's get started. First, I'm going to put on this headband just so it gets my hair out of my face. I already did my skincare and applied my sunscreen. I'm going to move on to my next product, and my next product I'm using is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I do have really big pores, so I'm going to just apply this right here to my T-zone, and then I just kind of pat it all into my skin just to make sure it really seeps into the pores so that they become non-existent. So the next step in my makeup routine is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. The way that I like to use it is I like to apply it in all the places where I like my highlight, which is above my brow, on my cheekbones, and on my chin. And then I just use a brush and I just tap it out. This gives me a really nice glow. And sometimes if I really don't want to wear makeup either, I'll just put this on and I'll maybe put some mascara on and I'll be good to go. Once I do that, I'm going to just grab my concealer, and the concealer that I'm going to use is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in shade Fair Beige, and I'm just going to use this to kind of cover up any redness that I have and any blemishes that I want to just make non-existent, because we aren't going to be really using a foundation in my everyday routine, because I think it's just too much. I used to wear foundation every single day, but I'm not about that life anymore. So now that I have the concealer on my skin, I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Your Light Dream Skin Foundation. So this is technically a foundation, but I consider it a BB cream. It does have SPF. This is in the shade 1.5 Fair, and it's a light coverage foundation. So it really is going to make your skin look like skin. It also gives you a really nice glow. And I'm just going to use this velvet sponge and just blend it out with a beauty blender. So now that I have my foundation all blended out, I'm going to go in with the Hollywood Contour Wand by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to have a lot of their products because I was really experimenting with their products during this like quarantine session when I was spending way too much money on online shopping. And I actually really began to love their brand. So yeah, this blends out super beautifully. And this is in Fair Medium. I did blend out my bronzer my contour while I was waiting for my battery to be charged. But as you guys can see, it blended out super seamlessly, and it's very light. No matter how much you put on, it's never gonna look too harsh because it's just that. Like this contour one is just that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to blush. That's the next thing that I do in my routine. I use two different types of blushes. The Milk Makeup Work Lip and Cheeks little blush stick, or the Maybelline Cheek Heat Sheer Gel Cream Blush, and I think it's Rose 20 Rose Flush. So I think for my vibe today, I'm thinking the Milk Makeup one is going to be my one that I'm going to go to. And I'm going to use a brush, so I'm just using this angled blush brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit on this blush brush, and I'm just going to pat it into my cheeks. I don't do much concealer, but I'm going to take a different concealer, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer in Snow. I'm sorry, I totally forgot. And I'm just taking it right here and right there. And that's pretty much it to just cover the darkness around my under eyes, and I'm just going to take my sponge and blend it out right there. While I was letting my battery charge, that I have some questions from like a while back that I never got to answer because I didn't film like a Q&A video. So I'm just going to answer some of those questions now. Some of them don't pertain to this time, but some of them do. So I'm just going to pull up those questions. The first question is, when did you know you wanted to do YouTube? For those of you who don't know and who just started watching me, I have been like not consistently posting on YouTube for about like 2 years now. And it all started because I used to have a makeup Instagram where I would post Instagram videos on that page, and people told me that I should just transfer to YouTube. So I was really scared because I didn't want to just like post these videos and nobody ever watched them. So it took me a while to kind of like make the jump to post videos on YouTube. But once I did, I guess I've just kind of been doing it ever since. And I've always told myself, if at least one person watches me, then I'm going to keep doing it, even though sometimes I don't do it as consistently as I wish I would. Liquid highlight. So the liquid highlight that I'm using is the Hollywood Beauty Light Wand by Charlotte Tilbury again. It's just like the contour wand, but it's for highlight. And I'm using the shade Spotlight. And I'm going to twist it on, and I'm going to apply it right there and blend it out with my finger. There. Oh, it's beautiful. Who's your best guy friend? I would say it's my friend Adri. Adri, you know who you are. His mom watches my videos. If you're watching this, hello. How are you? Yeah, Adrian has been one of my closest guy friends since high school, and that's like 3-4 years ago now, I think. So if you're watching this, love you. Yeah, so I'm going to start on my eyebrows, and I'm using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and I'm pretty sure this one's in the shade Cool Brown. So I'm just going to fill in right there. Next question. What's the best thing that happened to me in 2019? I think the best thing that happened to me was going back to school. I did drop out of school for a year, and I like to call it I took a year off. But I'm really happy that I ultimately made that decision, even though it was super scary for me. I'm really happy that I was really pushed to do that, and yeah, I've been doing school ever since, and I'm really happy in school, which is good because whenever I was in school before, I was so unhappy. And yeah, so now I'm super happy in school, and yeah, it was the best thing that happened to me in 2019. So that is the answer to that question. But this is all I do to my brows as far as filling them in, and then I just take the 24-Hour Brow Setter by Benefit, and I really comb my brows up because I really like the spiky brow look. So now that we're done with brows, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the face and just kind of add a little bit of powder onto this cream stuff that we have all over our face because I don't want it to move around. So I'm going to start off with the shade Dallas, and this is a sort of like a contour bronzer shade. And I'm taking this huge ginormous blending brush, and I am just sort of setting the bronzer contour one that I used. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush, and I'm going to put the Benefit Hoola bronzer on and just slightly contour. I'm just going to take this blush brush again and dump it into Sugar Bomb, and I'm going to kind of set that cream blush that I had as well. And finally, for the face, I'm going to go ahead and grab my highlighter brush, and I'm going to take Cookie in the same palette, and I'm just going to lightly tap it over the cream liquid. Okay, my camera died again. So I'm going to be taking the Morphe Artistry palette in 9T, and it's just like a really basic neutral palette. And I'm just going to take my Morphe M441, and I'm taking this shade right here in the bottom left corner, and I'm just going to drag it all over my eye. And what I've been recently doing is I've also been doing sort of like a smoked out wing, which looks like it may take a lot of time, but it really doesn't. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in all the way, and I'm gonna take this middle shade right here with a really flat brush, and I'm gonna show you how I do my smoked out wing.
Because every time I post it on my Snapchat story, at least one person asks me how to do this. So I literally am just taking the shadow on the brush, and I don't even take it all the way into my inner corner of my eye. I kind of stop it at the middle portion like this, and then I take the brush, and this is how easy this is. And I just kind of flick it. Literally, that's it. That's all it is. I just kind of flick it out, and then clean up whatever I feel.
That's all that I do for my shadow. And now I'm going to move on to my lashes. I just put on some mascara. Recently I've been using the Benefit Roller Lash with my L'Oreal lash primer, so I'm just going to quickly curl my lashes and apply my mascara while I answer a couple more questions. Okay, so my next question is about my family life. If I like my family life, and I am here to tell you I love my family life. I love my family. For those of you who do not know, I do have divorced parents. So I do live with my mom, but I do also try to spend as much time with my dad as I can. I have a really good relationship with both of my parents, and I'm really blessed to say that I have a really good relationship with my family members. My next question is, what is my major and what are my plans for the future? My major is small business management and entrepreneurship specifically, and I obviously plan to graduate as soon as possible. Like, now that I'm in school, I'm just so ready to be finished and start out my life. I do want to eventually own a business if that's in my path. I don't know, obviously God has a plan for everything, but that is something that I may look forward to. And also to one day in the future have a family, obviously. That is also a goal. So yeah, those are my plans for the future. Next question, who is your favorite mom who has a daughter named Addie? Well, contrary to your belief, I actually do know 2 people who have daughters named Addie. But my favorite one is my best friend Marissa. I love you so much. Go follow her YouTube channel. Subscribe to her. She started a YouTube channel and she makes the cutest content. She's a mom, so she's pregnant, and she's doing a lot of that type of content. So go subscribe to her. Leave her channel down below so that you can subscribe to her channel. Next question is, what is your worst fear? This is hands down the easiest question that I think I'd ever be able to answer. My biggest fear is throw up. And I know that sounds so stupid. Like, I don't know if you know what emetophobia is. If you don't, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm definitely 100% the worst emetophobic that you will ever meet. I will literally rather jump out of a plane than have to deal with throw up in any way. And that probably sounds so stupid, but that's my biggest fear, and anybody who knows me knows that already. So, and the last question that I'm going to answer is, what is your favorite personality trait of Ian's and my least favorite personality trait? For those of you who don't know, Ian is my boyfriend, and I will answer those questions right now. I'm just using the Urban Decay All-Nighter to sort of set my face. I'm gonna start with my least favorite personality trait so that we can end on a good note. My least favorite personality trait of him is he is so stubborn, and that's probably everybody's significant other is probably a little bit stubborn, but he is so stubborn. So that's kind of like sometimes makes me want to shake his head, you know? My favorite personality trait, I have so many of these. I have to just pick one. I think it would be how hardworking he is and how caring he is towards others. That sounds probably really cheesy, but he's very, very caring towards other people, and he always puts others before himself, and he's very, very hardworking in school and in everything else outside of school, and those are a couple traits that I really do admire about him. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know other types of videos that you want to see down below in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe.